You finally did it. You're out there trading. You're doing great things. You're making money. And you wake up one morning and your platform's down. Is it Thinkorswim, Robinhood? Doesn't matter. Platforms go down. And we're going to talk about what you can do to protect yourself and recover from it. Coming up next. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and live your best life. If you like these videos on trading, be sure and click subscribe and you'll be notified when the next one pops up. Well, today I get up and for the second day in a row, Thinkorswim is down. Ameritrade, what are you doing? And of course I go online to your down detector and I looked through it and the comments were just crazy. I mean crazy. People are losing their minds. And I saw the same thing happen a while back when Robinhood had severe issues on heavy trading days and people couldn't use their platform. What gives? I used to work in the backside of banking, and even banking systems, guess what? Go down. Now, before we get into the details of what can happen when a platform goes down or when you can't access it, first of all, let's get one thing out of the way. In order for you to use any platform, whether it's a paid platform, a free platform like Thinkorswim or Robinhood, you click the terms of agreement that says, no matter how bad they screw it up, no matter how many times you can't connect, no matter how many trades get screwed up because of their platform, they're not liable. They make the rules. That's why they have those disclaimers. And it's really easy for you to say, oh, well, that's just, them being on the internet and that's just happened. No, it's always been that way, y'all. I was in trading way back when there were no online platforms. None. You had to literally call up a broker and make a trade. Back then, if you sold a client a product or they got into a position, they would say, oh, well, you didn't explain things to me. No, you signed, literally signed back then, a disclaimer that says, we're not responsible. Too bad, so sad. That's how it still is, except now it's just in the online world. The bottom line is you are responsible. It's your money. You know that platform can go down on occasion, and it does. So you've got to learn to protect yourself, and you've also got to understand your own reactions when something like that happens. But before you get into a platform of any kind, free, paid, whatever, you need to understand that there are things that can happen. Let's talk about those. Number one, obviously, their platform goes down. They have technical issues. They do updates all the time. Updates get screwed up all the time. Anyone who's worked in an IT company of any kind can tell you this. Trading platforms are very complex, even way more complex than banking platforms. And let me tell you, those are complex. So when you look at a platform and say, oh, you should be able to snap your fingers and fix this, and yeah, it ain't that way. It's not that way. So you've got to have some patience there. These are very, very complex platforms, and they've got to work right. They can't just halfway do it. But there are also issues outside of the platform going down, and almost every platform will go down at some point, some less than others, but they will go down at some point. But there are other issues as well. What happens if you can't get phone service and your app doesn't work? You can't get to it. What then? What are your options? And I know some of you are thinking, oh, but that never happens. Oh, let me tell you, honey, it does. It absolutely does. I live in a mountainous area. It happens here more often than it does other places, but it does happen. A year or two ago when we had Ute Park fire between here and Taos, internet service went down. Payment systems went down. You could not get through on your phone at all because the bandwidth was being used so heavily because of the fire. It's a natural disaster. Guess what's going on right now today? Fires all over Colorado, heavily populated area. I'm sure there's a lot of traders in that area. Fires all over Northern California, Reno. Fires in Arizona. Guess what's coming up the coast? Hurricanes. All of these natural disasters have the potential to block you from getting onto trading. Maybe after you've put on some really big trades, then what? These are things you need to think about before you get on a trading platform. What are you going to do if? In today's case, Thinkorswim has been down, their trading platform has been down, their mobile app has worked, and their online has worked. Realize, these are not comparable products for Ameritrade. The online platform is way more functional, especially for day traders, option traders, than the regular website or the mobile app. So you have to understand that. But think through, what are you going to do? How are you going to react if that happens? You also need to think through, okay, do you want all your eggs in one basket? Do you want to use just one trading option? And I would tell you that's probably no. I was in the backside of banking for a number of years. I would never have just one bank account. I've seen what could go wrong. I've seen how when payment systems go down or when cards are shut off because of fraud, people can be left in a lurch. They could be on vacation. They could have no access to any other money. And then what? So I've seen those things happen. You've got to plan for those disasters and those specific circumstances before you get into a situation where you're panicked. Having multiple trading options, even if you don't actively trade one of those accounts, is a great thing. It's really a great thing, because then you can always go back and actively trade one account versus the other. If one site continues to have problems with their platform, you have time to choose another one. You're not just out of the trading game while you're trying to switch money around. There are also instances where, hey, you may have a medical emergency. You may be in a car accident. You may have a family member with a medical emergency or that's in a car accident. What then? You can't be caught unawares. You need to know and have a plan for what you're going to do. It's part of your overall trading plan to plan for disasters. And when you think about natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, flooding, anything like that that could inhibit your electricity, big snowstorm where I live, could inhibit your electricity. People don't think about wildfires, but those are big ones. They inhibit transmission lines. They take down cell phone towers. They do this all at the same time. They inhibit your moving from one location to another location. I have a laptop that's set up with everything I need for trading. I can go at a moment's notice and be in another town 200 miles away if I absolutely need to be connected. But I really don't absolutely need to be connected because I'm very careful the types of trades I make. I'm very careful the kinds of companies I get into. But even with those sorts of cautions, you can't predict everything. However, when one of these things happens, and your trading normalcy is somehow blown out of the water, how you react to it says a lot. How you plan for getting back in the market is really important. I put out a video recently about the time I lost $15,000 on one trade, a third of my account. But let's just take that as an example. Let's say you get up one morning and you had positions on, and all of a sudden your entire account is 30% less. Market took a humongous dump. There was something ridiculous that happened, and you're down 30%. What do you do? Do you get upset about it? You might. Do you just give up and step out of the market? I stepped out of the market for a while. Or do you do what I did eventually and reevaluate? You want to reevaluate. Okay. How do I fix this? Part of your trading plan has to be that contingency plan. What are you going to do if? You need to think through those things and write them down. Don't wait till it happens to then panic. And look at yourself. How did you react? Were you overly panicked? Were you sweating bullets? That is an indication that your trading plan may not be as well suited to you as you thought it was. So it's time to reevaluate. Reevaluate. Set some new parameters. Set some new boundaries. And then go at it again. Just like if someone woke up in the morning, went to work, and they were laid off, what would they do? Well, they'd be upset about it, of course. They might go home and kick back and think, people suck. And then the next day they would get up and they would go look for another job. That's what you do as a trader. Every day is a new day. You get up the next day, you evaluate what you did wrong, and you go at it again. That's how you win. The only way you lose is if you give up or you quit learning. Now, if you found this video helpful, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.